He didn't even flinch.
You're broadcasting it too much. You gotta.
He didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
But you know what's real? You know what's gonna spook you? The bump's gonna goose you or whatever the fuck.
Is that what you're bringing the show and tell?
Nope. Bringing Halloween.
Oh.
The Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
You guys see anything recently you want to bring, or you want to talk just straight Halloween?
Well, I want to talk about.
Let's talk about Halloween.
I was hoping to talk about a thing branching off with Jake. I wanted to talk about Battlefront with Jake.
Why?
Because it was a very big beta that just happened.
Let's talk about it. Let's take about it right
Oh, Star Wars?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to hear you
Star
guys
Wars
talk about
Battlefront. Yes, let's do it.
Let's hear about that first, though, because Halloween's a little old.
And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, I guess I could talk about
I
the
didn't know this was
walking.
the Mike show. I don't know.
Well, guess what?
There's 4 mics in the room right now.
I also want to talk about The Walking Dead, the spin-off show.
Oh no, you've been watching it?
I watched it.
You have much to
done.
say?
It's like just a few episodes.
Do you have not much to say about that? Should we start with that briefly?
Yeah, let's start briefly
All right,
with that.
so
okay,
let's talk Fear the Walking Dead, Star Wars Battlefront, which I watched Jake play the other day, and I would like to hear about that.
Yeah.
And then the
Thanks for
Halloween
that live stream.
franchise.
That
Yeah.
Okay, so The Walking Dead, not a huge fan of it. I mean, I was a big fan of the comics.
Yeah,
I
same.
stopped reading them because of the same reason I'm not a fan of the show anymore.
Just kept going.
Because of all the black people.
Yes, so many. But
Just kept going.
the problem they've run into The Walking Dead, what I don't understand why everybody else hasn't picked up on yet, is that literally every season the story is, we got to move to a new place. Oh, we found a new place, but secretly the place is bad in a way. And then at the end,
I hope that's not like The Leftovers.
and then at the end, the place gets attacked by zombies. A big rush of zombies every season, every fucking season.
That's
that happens.
interesting.
So
I hope that happens. on The
Walking
Leftovers.
Dead did fucking. We're gonna be seeing many of these. I'm predicting. We got a spin-off show, Fear the Walking Dead. What a
Terrible
great
title.
title.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Awful.
It's like The Dark Knight Rises.
So at first I thought, I watched the first episode and I was like, this maybe is a cool idea.
It's got that one guy in it that I like.
This could be a cool idea because it could just be like the panic and craziness.
build-up, yeah.
The panic and craziness of like the developing zombie apocalypse, because like, as if you don't know, The Walking Dead skips over that whole thing. Because of coma magic.
Okay.
So we see the first episode,
All right.
and within like 2 or 3 episodes, it just became The Walking Dead.
Oh, it just went back to the end of the world scenario?
Yeah, so it's just The Walking Dead,
They didn't
but
drag that out at all to keep it like original? That was like their
and
one
not
thing they had.
it's not. I've got even worse news.
Oh,
if
no.
we were excited.
Oh, no.
So it's just The Walking Dead again. It's just people trying to survive in a place, but then something happens to the place and they have to go to another place. That fucking happened
so
in
that
the spinoff
already.
Happened in the spinoff already. And so I was thinking the whole time. I watched the whole. It was a very short season.
Fear the Walking Dead's over already?
No. The Fear the Walking Dead. Now The Walking Dead has started.
I was like, Fear the Walking Dead is over? What was it,
Yes.
6 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh.
It led up to the premiere of the new season. Of Walking
That's
Dead.
kind of cool, I guess. Okay.
So I thought what was going to happen at the end was that it was going to do something where it leads into the full Walking Dead. Like, this is what bridged the gaps. Nope, they're making another season. It's just Walking Dead 2.
Just a separate show running.
It's just a separate show.
My grandma watches The Walking Dead. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
And
And fuck your grandma, right?
Like my grandma's
Dead,
like your grandma. Like she's a grandma.
Walking
Like,
Dead.
I love my grandma.
Yeah, like your grandma's cool, but she's very much a grandma.
Speak
Like,
for
there's
your
no
grandma.
denying.
Speak for yourself.
Don't you have a grandma? It's like an old lady.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, my
two of them.
grandma is an old lady.
Never mind.
If my grandma could turn on the TV, it would be a fucking...
Walking Dead is going to be around.
Totally kidding.
Walking Dead is going to be around
Forever.
for so long.
Yeah, because my grandma watches
I'm
it.
sick and fucking tired of it.
It's gonna be
I'm
It's
sorry,
the
Jake. I'm sorry.
SVU.
I'm sorry, Jake. But your grandma's gonna be long dead before The Walking
know.
Dead has stopped.
She's going to be the Walking Dead.
She's gonna be a fucking. We might not
And we're
even
gonna have
fucking
people
see.
telling us, give it another chance, give it another chance. But
No.
like, I just can't.
But also, why? What
I've
are you
been
getting
burned.
out of it?
I've been burned by it too many times. Like,
and the
I've
fucking
tried.
Horror Nights things are so fucking boring. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick and
I
tired
mean,
of
like,
The
I
Walking
won't. I
Dead.
mean, there are good performances in the show. I'll give it
The
that.
makeup looks great.
Yeah. It really hurts me to like say I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore because the first season or 2 was really, really stellar, and the comic books.
Yeah.
The comic books might be one of like the more compelling things I've ever read
in the beginning.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, now we're here.
Now we're here. Yeah, but it's like
It's almost like Minions started out as this obscure, awesome band that like nobody heard. And
The Who? Who did?
Minions. I'm saying like the Minions.
No,
Right?
Started
not
out
the
as a
Who.
band?
Yeah.
They started out as a band, right? And they're like fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
They only
And then
play.
they went
only
mainstream.
play in your town, and then they get mainstream,
Minions.
and they only do.
Why couldn't this just have been about a band?
I don't understand.
No.
Why do the Minions have
Here's
to
the
be
thing.
in a band?
No, let me relate to you. No. So
Let
here's
me
the
get
thing.
to the reference.
They get famous, and then all of a sudden they start just making a bunch of movies and backpacks.
The band makes a movie?
And yeah. Okay.
Why
just-
is there a
Jake,
band?
I'm cool with it.
this
And-
is the worst analogy
and
I've ever
so
heard.
the reason
Wait.
why you like, and it's not because like you like them before they were cool. It's just the fact that now they've become this completely different thing that isn't what you even liked in
I
the
can
first
kind of
place.
see where he's going with this.
You know?
It's you
Yeah.
could have just easily
I
said.
shouldn't have used
What
the
did
Minions.
you smoke?
I should not have used the Minions at all.
You
What
could
I
have
like about it
easily
is, what I
just
like
said
about
it.
it is it's like saying
I got Minions on the brain. Bebo or whatever.
Not even.
Bebop.
moving on.
Bebop.
Moving on. Speaking of
You
bebop,
could have easily have just said
a band.
You could have easily just said something underground becoming popular
Yeah.
and then
But for
overdrawn
some
out.
reason,
I
it's
tried
not,
to make
it's
a
not just an
Minion
indie
analogy.
band, but it's an indie band made up of minions.
Minions.
Which
It's
is
like
kind of fucking cool.
it's
if
like
you think
none
about
I
of
it.
actually kind of want that to be real.
Like
none of
Nirvana,
that
but
made
for
sense.
Minions.
None of that fucking
Not
analogy made
Minvana.
sense.
Minvana.
Nerfinian.
Minion Jam.
Anyway, what's the other? What else? I want to
Star
hear all
Wars
about Star
Battlefront.
Wars Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Is a beta. That was.
I watched you play it.
Yeah, that was my early access. I was
Motherfucker.
legit. Then it was available for everyone, and it got extended a couple days. And so everybody, 9 million people on record played Battlefront.
Yeah.
And that probably means like 1 million are gonna buy it. But
A lot of very negative reactions. I
think
saw.
it was good. I like it.
I really liked
Can I
it.
just say, as a third-party person who doesn't play, like video games super often, the last video game I'm gonna play is like a shoot 'em up game because it's just so boring to me. I'm like, okay, this could be anything.
No, here's the
I
thing.
like the puzzle games and stuff, but this looked just like Call of Duty, but with a Star Wars skin over it. Like,
no,
it didn't
no,
look
no.
like
Oh,
anything.
so different than
To
that.
me, I mean, yeah, I'm outside of it.
The thing here is that a lot of people are complaining. Their two biggest complaints is that
it's not
it was
like old Battlefront.
okay.
I don't know anything
Three
about it.
biggest complaints. It's not like old Battlefront, which is a very shitty complaint. Second one, it's too simple, which is also a shitty complaint. I thought that was one of the better parts of it.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's my
because
favorite
all right,
part.
so the whole thing
It's
is
just if you want to join up Star Wars.
yeah, you're in a you're
it's basic. It's
you're in a-
pretty.
you're in
and
a
you run
big
around,
war.
looks great.
you're in a big space battle war with laser guns with infinite ammo.
They
and
give
you're
you
just
gun, shoot the guys.
Yeah,
Darth
yeah,
Vader
got a
might
gun,
show
shoot the
up.
guys.
All right.
Pew, pew, pew,
Have
pew,
fun.
have
Go
fun.
nuts, yeah.
Another thing they're saying.
$60 though, right?
Another thing they're saying is that it was incredibly unbalanced, which the people who said that are the dumbest of
No,
morons.
I would agree.
What does it mean?
No.
Unbalanced though. What does that mean?
No, here's the thing. You all have missed the fucking point. It's the Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
It's the rebels versus the Empire.
Yeah.
Of course, it's fucking unbalanced, you idiots.
Yeah, but
it's
it's a
the rebels versus the
Yeah,
Empire.
but it's a competitive multiplayer video game. It's not a story game.
You idiots, you fucking morons.
Wow,
The
you're
whole
taking this
point.
really personally.
No, because this is like this is a cool idea that everybody is completely.
That they made it difficult.
No, the whole thing is
Or-
that when you're on the rebel team, it's difficult to fight the Empire.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
true.
point.
Yeah, you
'Cause-
got
and
it.
it's like when
Yeah.
you beat the Empire, when you're the
Yeah.
rebels, it's like, yeah, we won.
Yeah, well
and
said.
when you're the Empire, you gotta squash the rebels.
Yeah.
And
See, okay, so that's better then because if it was the opposite, then it really would be just like a Call of Duty with a
yeah,
skin
and
over
it's
it.
like, and then
Which is what it seemed like to me.
For me, the real
in
problem
every
with
round
that,
you swap.
for me,
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That
For me,
makes
the real
sense.
problem with that mode
It's like Left
was
4 Dead. It reminds me
yeah.
of Left
they
4 Dead
don't
like that.
really tell you to win as the rebels is more difficult because you have a lot more things you have to do. You don't just kill everyone. You have to time it and down certain uplinks, like set the uplink so it downs a shield and then shoot at the AT-ATs.
So
There's
it's
different
like
things.
offensive and defensive, basically.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's constantly moving.
But it's
So
like-
like they don't tell you to. You have to figure that out, and I think that is what a
I
lot
think
of
the
people
better
couldn't grasp.
I think the better way to say it is offense and defense. Like the Empire was the offense, and when you get towards the end of Hoth, when you're like right at the power generator,
Yeah, when you're like right on top of them.
the rebels have fucking turrets everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's like that's their power,
Goalie,
like that's
almost,
their goalie
yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
And,
it's
yeah.
it's like when you're playing as the Stormtroopers. What did
Empire.
you? That's the Empire. Thank you. Your goal is not to win. Your goal is to not let the other team win. Basically.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes
You're
sense.
not trying to just get
'Cause
more
it's easy to
kills.
win. Yeah, you're trying to get them to not win.
Yes.
Okay. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
And then
Sounds a little better
vice
than I thought.
vice versa when you're the rebels. But that's blowing over everybody's head. But this is also committing, I think, one of the biggest sins in video game history.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we all live in a fucking post DLC world.
Oh, what?
And of course, this is made by EA, right?
Mm-hmm. Who are they? They're like the ultimate.
They're the ultimate. They're so when you have a game with DLC, you have an option to download the DLC when it comes out, or get the season pass, which is spending a lot of money and then just getting all the DLC for free when it's
Sure. Yeah.
The game is $60. The season pass is $50. And we have no idea what we're getting
which is
for that season pass.
Did you pay for it?
No.
Oh no, it's not out yet. The game's not out yet.
Yeah.
But it's a problem when they say buy this $50 thing.
Buy this $50 thing that you have no idea what you're getting.
But then
Definitely
again,
don't do
I can
that.
only go. I can only get so mad because I go, oh well, then I won't buy it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but,
yeah.
but they're gonna fucking make you when they say all the coolest shit of the game is all in the DLC.
Yeah, that'll
And
be a
then
problem.
and then a year after its release, when Star Wars Battlefront, the year winner of the year edition, when that comes out with all the DLC in it, and it's like this is what you should have paid for.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
But we're talking
God
about
damn it.
the beta.
We're talking
So
about
now,
the beta.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I found flying in vehicles passable, but kind of controlling like butt. It was fun,
Yes,
but it was like this is kind of shitty. Like,
Flying in vehicles.
I was like
yeah.
nervous.
The flying in vehicles takes a little bit to get used to
Yeah.
because all confrontations end like this. Spaceships flying at each other. We're spinning around, shooting at each other.
and then you're spinning around like, wait, where?
Where's the guy? Where's
oh,
the
there
guy?
They are.
There he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
missed. Oh, where are
Sounds like
they?
Star
Where are
Fox multiplayer.
they? Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Sucks.
Which it's a beta,
Star Fox
so I
64,
hope
by
that
the
maybe. Another thing that happens is that everybody crashes into each other, and it's just like, oh.
Also,
It's like they should add the option where it's just like when you're making like those near misses, there should be like a little gravity bump so you don't
that'd be
fucking
cool.
hit the other spaceship. Because it happens all the time. I take off in the spaceship and there's just 9/11 right into the other fucking.
They
ship.
the one other thing, like I love the hero like playing as Luke.
Those are the
Vader,
good ideas,
but
like-
visually they nailed it. It's exciting. The music swells. The lightsaber looks good. The lightsaber actually you can see it glowing off of the snow, which is crazy.
That's why I bought it.
But like it feels a little it feels a little choppy. Feels a little weird.
I like the way they implemented it, which is like it's like a power up.
Yeah.
It's like you're running around like shooting people, and you look over and you see, oh, that's Luke Skywalker power up. You get it, and you get to be Luke Skywalker for a little bit.
I like it for that. I
And-
don't like it for vehicles because I used to love like in Battlefront too, Battlefield as well. It's like you start out, everybody starts out in a base, and there's a bunch of like parked vehicles, and it's like, oh cool, let's go, and everybody hops in one and flies away. Now it's like you just got to find the token, press the buttons, and then suddenly you are one.
Well, then I mean we've only seen Hoth.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, that's a mechanic. The whole game would be like that.
Okay,
yeah.
so I mean, and also
I do like. Let me ask you from the Empire perspective. Do you like the fact that that big AT-AT is on rails?
Yes.
I think that makes total sense.
Yeah, if it
I'm
wasn't,
like, yeah,
it would be a
what
mess.
the fuck would be going? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's-
you have people walking into like the mountain.
over the
Yeah,
mountain,
yeah.
dudes,
Yeah.
like getting fucking flipping sideways. In
Yeah,
between
it
two
makes sense that
rocks.
it's just a moving turret that you hop in because you can control the AT-ST completely independently, and that's fucking awesome. So it's fun. It's
dope.
fun.
It's
It's
fun.
It's
It's a good
simple,
idea.
Fun to
and I love
watch when I
that.
was watching it that day.
I think
Yeah, it was pretty thrilling.
if those other
Authentic
if
Star
those,
Wars.
if those other authentic
Definitely.
battles work out,
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some cool things.
Just
I like
visually,
that it's,
music, sound, effects, like it's
the
you feel
sound-
Star
sound
Wars.
effects
Sound
are
effects are
perfect. You close your
amazing,
eyes,
yeah.
it's like you're watching a movie.
It's so
Yeah.
funny too. Like I've seen people in comments and stuff, like especially on my videos. You like okay, so maybe you're comparing it a little too much to the old Battlefront games. Maybe there's problems with it that you don't like. Maybe you don't like EA. But I've had people be like, "This looks like the worst game I've ever seen."
That-
I'm
no,
like,
that's
"Oh,
silly,
well then you
yeah.
don't fucking like
Yeah,
Star
that's-
Wars
that's
because
right.
this
That's
looks
like
just
people
like
saying,
Star Wars."
I'm not even going to see
Yeah.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck
shut
up.
the fuck up.
Yes,
So, would you give a thumbs up on getting the full game? I still don't know. I still don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely getting the full game when
Yeah.
it comes out.
I mean, I will 'cause it's like my thing, but
I'm just very afraid that I'm going to get it, and then it's going to be like, oof, all the cool shit costs extra, asshole.
want to play as Yoda?
Well, yeah, I want to play as Yoda. Well, yeah, $15.
You play as Yoda? That's pretty dope.
Well,
That
I
would
mean,
suck.
I
Oh,
mean,
you're guessing.
Yoda has no place in the
well,
battlefield.
I mean, the whole thing is
I
that
guess
like
you're right.
when you're fighting Rebels versus Empire, it's like you got the power-ups to either be Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. There's obviously going to be different variations of heroes and villains throughout the series.
Right. Boba Fett.
Cool.
You know what? Fucking, they're going to put Yoda in there. Of course they're going to.
I don't know.
Of course they're going to.
I think they might only keep it.
They've already ruined Yoda by showing him in the battlefield in the
That's
fucking
the thing,
prequels.
though. This one seems to be more based on the old movies and.
Yeah, but seeing Darth Vader like hopping around.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I hate that.
Because Darth Vader doesn't sprint. Darth Vader does not run. He walks briskly.
Yeah. He's just like running around, running down hallways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. It looked ridiculous, actually. You're chasing him around. He's just quickly like, run.
But then little things they do get right, like the way Luke, like if you're like
Is a pussy.
striking as Luke's just like,
He doesn't look like well trained
because he's not like
Good,
twirling it around and doing backflips.
He's
and
not
stuff.
doing the fucking choreographed
Yeah.
bullshit.
Right. Fuck yeah.
I mean, granted, he does do like an anime dash slice.
Yeah,
but
it is
like
an anime
it's a
dash,
video
yeah.
game. That's fine.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I will say the smaller.
You have a strand of hair.
Oh.
That was driving me nuts. There you
I
go.
would have driven me nuts if I could have fucking seen it. The smaller round where it was just like maybe 6-on-6.
It was just more like just shoot on shoot.
I was not feeling that as much. I think the
you
fun
need the
for,
stuff. You need the bells and whistles.
you need the big
Yeah,
battles.
definitely.
I mean, it's 20-on-20. It's 20. It's
Yeah,
a big
it's
fucking game.
Good.
It's
cool, that's cool.
It's 12 on 12. No, is it 20 on 20?
20-on-20 is
way.
for Hoth. It's 20-on-20.
No,
It's 40
way.
people.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it says 20-on-20 in the
That's
beginning of every.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lot.
Yeah. I think those other battles definitely show that the game is kind of lacking like simplicity because it's just like, okay, you run and you shoot. That's it. You got a jetpack sometimes. That's it. That's why, the bigger battles are definitely what I'm going to be playing, like 100%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Video games.
Pretty neat.
Cool. Have you guys seen all of the Halloween movies?
No, I'm actually
Just about, yeah.
I'm actually quite unfamiliar with them. When it comes to all of the Halloweenies, well, the Freddys, all the Jasons, Michael is the last one on my list
wow.
of views.
Which is ironic considering
that we both have a very
Almost your
strong
same
upper
name.
body.
Yeah.
and
Similar
and that we
hair.
both look like ghosts.
you have a very similar
pale
name.
faces.
Oh, you see, I didn't even see that one coming.
And the mustache. So I watched every minus Season of the Witch. I'm only counting Michael Myers movies here. I watched every Michael Myers Halloween movie, marathoned them, because I had never seen all of them like in order, and I just wanted to go through and share my thoughts on them and tell you which ones are my favorites, which ones I think are the best, and which ones are the absolute worst.
Go ahead.
So we got Halloween 1.
Classic.
Halloween 1 is a classic. Yeah, of course, we've all seen that one. There's not really much to say about it. It's great.
I still think it holds up really well.
Oh, it holds up brilliantly.
It's one of those
fantastic.
movies where it's like when you see an error in it, it's so heartwarming and great.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like Reflections.
Yeah, like
because it's like people
did you
made
see
this.
the cigarette puff? The director
No.
the director chain smoked, and there's
John Carpenter.
There's one shot where you can see a puff of cigarette smoke just on the side of the screen. And
awesome.
it's John Carpenter.
Oh
just
hell
going,
yeah, I love that. I never saw that.
That's,
That's
but
great.
like for that, it's like it's so great. I love
awesome.
it. Yeah.
My favorite part of the original Halloween is the daytime suburbia stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just
That-
by a hedge. And he's just standing there. Amazing.
That
love
is
that
something. Brief tangent. That is something that hasn't been explored, and I think somebody needs to nail it down quick.
Daytime spooky stuff.
Daytime spooky.
Oh yeah,
because
because you always feel safe during the day, so
Yeah.
that's the best place to.
I
get
remember
to.
the last thing I ever heard trying to do that was the American Silent Hill game, Silent Hill Homecoming. Their whole thing was we're trying to make daytime spooky.
Right.
Didn't
I think
really nail
what
it.
do you call it? Did it a little bit? The sex monster movie.
Oh, it follows.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
bit.
God.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's
that had a
not-
little bit.
Yeah,
Let's not
wasn't-
speak.
It's
Yeah.
not that bad. Like,
Listen.
it's not like
Speaking of not that bad,
Yeah,
how about
sorry.
Halloween 2? Halloween 2 takes place immediately after Halloween. Right?
I've only seen the beginning.
Yeah, you know. I've been trick or treated to death tonight.
You don't
You
know what death is.
By the way, John Carpenter, writer, director,
Music.
composer. Yeah, he's the man.
I just imagine being that guy who
trick or treated
like,
to
yeah,
death tonight.
What?
But like getting that answer.
And then should cut back to him. Huh?
What? Yeah.
What the fuck did you just say? Actually, we can edit that easily. I'm gonna look into that. But Halloween 2 is also very good. Not the most exciting movie, but it's still very good. And Halloween 1 and 2 are kind of like a package deal in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, Halloween 1 obviously works on its own, but Halloween 2, if you watch them both in a row, then it's great.
Any
I'm
movie that
shaky on
takes-
Halloween 2. Is that when they get him and they lock him up?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Halloween 2, yeah, they actually locked him in jail. No,
Throwing
in the
away
future
the
one.
key.
Halloween 2 is the one that ends with. Obviously, spoilers. Who cares? Obviously, this one ends with the explosion in the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember.
And it's presumed that Loomis died and
Michael died.
Michael died.
But you
It's
see, they
presumed that
actually
everybody died.
they fused.
They fused actually. Oh
No,
God, I
but
wish.
that's just how Loomis gets more badass.
I wish. So then we did Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about Michael. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Probably it's my favorite one. It's my favorite Halloween movie.
Now, even though I'm very unfamiliar with all these movies, this sounds like a very obvious new Coke kind of marketing campaign.
Yeah, it was the return of Michael Myers, like
Yeah.
to
'Cause
the
it
franchise,
was like,
but
remember that
also
one that
because
you
it's
saw?
years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the story, it's the return of Michael Myers
Gotcha,
and to the
yeah.
franchise. We hear that Jamie Lee Curtis's character has died in a car accident,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're thinking like, oh, okay, so which by the way, keep in mind, you don't find out that it's his sister in the first movie. It's in
No.
the second one.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening.
You don't know
and
his
in the second
motivation.
one, in
Yeah.
the second one they reveal that they were related. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a retroactive thing, but still works,
It works
really well.
fine,
It made
yeah.
the whole franchise.
Horror movies did that a lot. Retroactive, little tweaks.
But so Halloween 4, now it's Jamie, Laurie Strode's daughter. So Jamie
Yeah.
Lee Curtis's daughter is now the target. Have you seen this one? You don't even know.
I don't even know.
Okay, so she's
Yeah.
the target, and the reason it's my favorite one, I think, is because it absolutely holds true to the original movie. Like it feels like that style, that quality,
Yeah.
but it's bigger. It just feels like bigger in a good way, not in like a lame way.
Yeah.
It's got the horror.
Terminator,
It's like Resident Evil 4.
Terminator 1
Okay.
and Terminator
Yeah.
2.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess so, but that would sure. It's like bigger. It expands on things. It expands on like the scope of it, I think, in a way, but it keeps true to it. So that one is really, really great. The opening scene, not the opening scene, but one of the scenes toward the beginning. Is it the opening scene? I don't remember. With the mirrors is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's the scariest Michael.
It's great.
Oh, it's the scariest Michael Myers ever looks in any of the movies. I think is the fourth one.
Definitely.
I think now I'm a little fuzzy.
I can't tell you exactly what they did differently with him.
It's less
Yeah.
defined features is scarier. I
Yeah.
think because as it goes on, they're more defined.
Yeah.
It's like dirty and it's less scary. To
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's like with Chucky. They made him more fucked
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Details
or
and,
Jason
like-
even, yeah,
Yeah.
like the stitches and stuff.
yeah,
I'm
Jason has
not
a lot
really
going
feeling
on.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the simpler the better, the scarier in my opinion. But there's also there's the brilliant scene of Michael, God damn you, like
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes.
And then
That is so good.
it's so good. And then there's also the ending, the very ending, where they're all looking up the stairs, and it's just like the first movie with the clown with the mask over the
Yeah.
eyes, and they're looking up the stairs, and they're like, no,
Yes.
no,
Yes,
and it
it's so
cuts to
fucking good.
fucking Jamie with the fucking
Yeah.
knife,
It's amazing.
killed her mom
Incredible.
or stabbed her mom.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
That movie is my favorite Halloween movie. But the fifth one has a scene that I wish was in the fourth one because then it would make the fourth one a fucking masterpiece. The fifth one's okay, but the scene with the fucking laundry chute is terrifying. When Jamie hides in the laundry chute. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that,
She hides
no.
in the laundry chute. And she's holding on, and then she's like, whoa, and she drops down. Michael goes down to get her, and she's trying to climb back up, and he's just stabbing at the laundry chute.
yeah, that was
and
good.
then she gets up there, and she looks down, and he's just like looking up at her, trying
Yeah.
to grab at her, and it's fucking terrifying.
I love the stuff they did with her and him. I thought that was great.
That was,
Like
that
in,
was
in 4 and 5.
It was awesome. But five also, was a little shaky because it was starting to get tired.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, all right. There was some good stuff in it, but it was definitely very been there, done that. And save for a couple of great scenes, the ending being the better part of it. And I think, am I thinking of the fifth one? I think it's the fifth one where there's an extra villain in the movie in the angry mob.
That's right.
Right? I think that's the fifth
Wow,
one.
I think that was
The,
the
the,
fifth
ta-
one.
the
Yeah.
angry mob in the town
Yeah.
is trying to get Michael.
Yeah.
By the way,
but they're accidentally killing people.
Yeah.
these are all John Carpenter?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. He did the first two, and he might have had involvement over the years in different ones, but he
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
He wasn't in control. As far as I remember. Now this one, the fifth one, if I remember correctly, is the one where it ends with him in jail.
Yeah.
They put Michael Myers in jail. They get him.
Keep his
They
mask
put
on
him in
jail.
jail. And then all of a sudden the jail explodes, and Jamie goes in, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she goes in, she's looking, and it's the first introduction of like the shadowy figure guy with the top hat with the hat.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There's like a guy. This is where the mythology starts to come in. It started
I
out.
don't know why
It
any
started
of
out.
it.
The
Mythology.
first movie is he's just killing people,
That's
killing hot teens.
Okay.
Then the second movie,
It
it
has
was
to do with
his
family.
sister.
Yeah, it's
okay.
family stuff.
Then the fourth one continued that, but there was a mental link between Jamie and Michael.
Yeah, which was-
who's
I thought
his,
was
it's his
fucking
niece,
cool.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
I think is it the fifth one where she goes in the attic and she looks at and he takes his mask off, or is
Yeah.
that the fourth one? I
I think
forget.
I
Whichever one it is, that's
can't
also a
remember.
really great scene.
That was great.
When she's like, "Uncle,"
Yeah.
and he
that
takes
was
his
weird.
mask off and she looks and she goes to touch him and then he goes, "Ah," and he
Yeah.
puts it back on and he's like, "Fuck this! Whoa,
Like
what
a
the
big,
fuck?"
Big retard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really fucking cool
Yeah, that
too.
was good.
Because it's kind of like the first one where his mask is off really
Yeah.
quickly, so that was cool. But they start to introduce that this crazy like link, and it's just fucking weird. And
hold on,
it starts to
there's-
get intense.
there's a
then
man-
there's a guy in a fucking trench coat and
Yeah.
a hat with like, does he have a briefcase? He just might. and a cane. I don't think he does, but I'm picturing a
He's a
cane
spooky
and a
shadow man
briefcase.
with-
And I think he's called. Well, the Shape is the other name of Michael Myers in the first movies. I forget what the name of this guy
I
is.
forgot.
And what,
They
he's
never
like-
say who plays Michael Myers in the credits. By the way, it's so great. It's just the Shape.
That's cool.
Michael Myers
Yeah.
played by or Shape played by nobody. I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget. But it's this guy, and it's like he blows up the jail cell to let Michael out.
Yeah.
And so the movie ends on like a who is this? Like it ends
Who,
really
why?
shitty.
Yeah.
After that awesome ending with the
Yeah.
the
in
vent.
4, yeah.
And again, hopefully I'm not mixing up movies. Then we go down to the art. This is the worst. It's tied for the worst. The two worst movies are tied for the worst. There's no like second to worst.
It's good that I can't really remember them.
So Halloween 5 I think was called Revenge of Michael Myers. Then Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And this one is all about trying to retroactively make sense of like all different crazy shit that happened in the
Yeah.
series. And they're like, that's why this happened. That's why this happened. Blah, blah, blah. That's who the guy in the hat is. Like, it's just fucking crazy, and it's easily the worst. Paul Rudd stars as he's the star of the
Oh,
film.
that one, yeah.
And he stars as the it's so confusing. The little boy from the first movie grown up.
Who was just like a baby,
And he's obsessed with Michael Myers now. And he's just like, he calls into a radio show and he's like, Michael Myers is coming. It's Halloween, don't you know? Like, it's just fucking terrible. And it's just a lot of dumb fucking shit. And it's really, really bad. I can't even. We should probably watch it for.
Yeah.
We should probably. If he's never. You know what?
I don't
We're
remember this
we
one.
gotta
Well,
watch
the
it.
only one I've seen. Oh wait, am I thinking of? No, I'm thinking of Texas Chainsaw.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
explain everything because honestly, let's watch it. Let's do
All right.
that. It is so fucking insane and just it's terrible. It's really just bad. Like no good scenes, no good scares. They don't understand like the dread. It's just stupid. Somebody fucks, there's their tits, scary Michael Myers. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's just
And then
another
all of the
situation.
mythology stuff, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But what's nice is then they took a break for a little bit and then Halloween 7 comes around. Halloween, they called it Halloween H2O. And
Yeah.
I always thought, I never
Fuck
saw it
yeah.
when I was younger. I thought it was because it took place on a cruise.
Or underwater. That's,
Or
yeah.
underwater. But it's because H20, H20,
Yeah.
Halloween 20 years later.
Yeah.
And it decides to say fuck off to 4, 5, and 6. Even though I love 4, and 5 has its
It goes
moments.
back to the
it
Laurie
says,
Strode
fuck
stuff.
it. Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yeah,
She's
she's
alive.
She's alive because they said it didn't happen.
Yeah.
How did
now,
they say
by
that?
the way,
How
the
did-
movie was. This is one of those Blair Witch 2 situations. Remember how Blair Witch 2 could have been a good movie? That whole
Yeah.
thing. They thought about making this a thing where she pretended to die in a car accident and went to the witness protection program to escape Michael because
Yeah.
Michael. But which is silly because Michael is a monster. He can't die, and he would probably just have a link. You know
Just
what
get
I
on
mean?
a plane.
He's not
right?
watching the news. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
He would be like, I know she's alive. I can feel it. Like he would know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I found
so it's a little silly of a premise, I guess. But they didn't end up going that route. They just made it that they cut the other movies, and
Yeah.
so it's Halloween 2, and then 20 years later, because that's the same night. Halloween 2 is supposed to be the same night. It's immediately after. Halloween H2O is 20 years later, and they thought that he exploded in that explosion,
Yeah.
and he didn't. So it actually makes sense if they're cutting out those movies, which again, I like the ones in between. Some of the fourth one. So it's weird if you can put that to the side, then it works. and it is actually awesome.
And
like
the
it's
end
actually
is so
it's
fucking
it's
good.
not good. It's not well directed. It's not
No.
well written. But it's just Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael Myers 20 years later is actually like it
And
actually
it's not
works
like
really well.
It's not like cheesy or gross. Like it's not like it's not like Harrison Ford showing up
no,
being
but
Indiana
I mean
Jones.
the
It's like
moment in the window, the famous like the moment
the marketing
when-
they used up, but
that,
it was
that
so
the marketing,
great.
and
yeah.
but since it was a circle window, that's why I thought it was a boat. But she when Michael Myers is chasing the fucking her son.
Yeah.
She has a son in this one and never had the daughter. When she's chasing him into Michael Myers is chasing them back to the school because she's like the headmaster at a school now, and everyone left for the weekend, but except for a couple of kids and her, and she locks the door just before Michael gets to the door, and then Michael hits into the door, and they're both looking at each other through the window, and
it's
she's
so
just
good.
like looking at him through the window,
It's
and
so
it's just,
unsettling.
It's like it feels like a
And he
superhero
kinda-
movie.
he kinda, like,
it feels like a superhero
turns his
movie.
head a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just like looking at her like.
And
And it might sound silly, but because it is silly, but if you embrace it, it's awesome. It's like, fuck yeah, throw down, original characters, dope, fuck yeah, love it. And that all comes to a head,
I love
quite
it.
literally,
Yeah,
at the very
the
end.
car accident.
When
Yeah,
when
fucking awesome.
he gets it ends up with there's a terrible moment, by the way, where he lowers himself from the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
With one
I
hand.
forgot about
She's
that.
walking around, and then she like all of a sudden you just see like feet drop down behind her, and it's like, where was he? Like,
Wait a minute.
It cuts to him like this.
Where was he that he could be completely straight and come down
he
completely
was like
straight?
parallel to the ceiling, like, and then he just lets him. He's just like this.
What was he doing? What was he doing for 20 years?
Recovery.
There was a thing that explains it, and I don't remember.
He was training in the mountains by Raj Al Ghul.
Yeah. But, I don't remember exactly what happened. But in the fifth one, though, by the way, it starts with him having hooked up with a hermit in the woods.
Yeah, in
that
a
nurses him back to health.
And then he
a la Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Or
And he does the
Frankenstein.
thing where
and then he
sits
kills
up.
him.
Yeah. That was
Anyway.
actually really good. Just going back to that, that's great because I believe
Completely
he
ridiculous.
does the thing where he's laying down and he sits up like straight up.
does that in
and he's,
every
But
movie.
in that one, it was like he had no mask on, but he was out of focus.
Yeah.
That
was
was
cool.
That was really cool.
But that movie H2O ends with Laurie is driving the fucking car, and she knows you can't kill him. You know what I mean? So she's like, yeah, he's dead over there, whatever. And then like she takes a car away. She leaves because she's like, fuck this shit, and she's
Yeah.
like, I'm out of here. This guy's gonna come back.
Yeah.
And he's in the car. Oh, she takes his body. She like kidnaps his body in the in a
Yeah.
van, and
She takes him.
and takes him away because she's like, I'm dealing with this shit myself. You guys are all morons,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And he flies out of the car, which he does all the time. She stops short and he flies out, and then she hits him, pins him to a tree, so he's trapped.
and you see him sitting there like, oh.
And then it's really cool. The franchise should have ended here, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It worked as a like ending.
Oh.
And she. And he like she's like they're reaching out to each other, and he's reaching up like this. It's weird. It's creepy
really
because he's
creepy.
just like
Oh, because he's
silent,
Yeah.
and he's just like this. And she kind of looks like she's gonna be like, I forgive you. And then she just says, fuck it, chops his head off with an axe.
Yeah.
It rolls down a hill. The end.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's so
great.
good.
And then they made one more with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And they tried to fucking say they did this retroactive. It was like a Saw movie.
It was awful.
It was this like a later Saw movie. Retroactive fucking nonsense. Now Jamie Lee Curtis is in a mental hospital for whatever reason, even though she won.
Fucked her up though.
And these doctors are like, I thought she didn't. She thought she killed Michael, but it turned out Michael swapped clothes with a doctor or like a paramedic, and left. Like, and the person she chopped the head off of was a paramedic.
And that's why she's in jail,
And so they
mental
put her
jail
into
now.
jail
Yeah.
because she killed a guy. So then they're like, here's your pills. And she's like, thank you. And she pretends to eat them. And then she opens up her teddy bear and she's like,
Yeah,
spits
she's
the pills and it's
stashing all
like
the
full
pills.
of pills.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck this shit. Michael comes back for her again. And she's like, I know he's coming. They go on the roof. She tries to throw him off the roof and she gets too close. And he grabs her and throws her off the roof. He's all right.
She
Busta
dies.
Rhymes goes, we're going to make a reality show about people spending the night in Michael Myers' house.
Childhood home. Yeah.
And which is like, nobody ever implied there was anything other than just Michael
sounds
Myers.
like this movie
Yeah.
was made in 2002.
Tyra Banks is, something like that. Tyra Banks is his fucking
Oh,
like
God.
assistant who dances around and dies at some point. But there's like a bunch of fucking assholes in the movie, and it's
Yeah.
just idiots, and they all have head-mounted cameras like GoPro-esque. It's like way before its time, technically, I guess. But they're all just walking around. It's just stupid shit, and Michael Myers shows up. Busta Rhymes dresses up as Michael Myers, tries to scare everybody, and he has a scene where he talks to Michael Myers, and he's like, He's like, you idiot. We can't both be walking around and they're gonna be like, yo, it's the two of them. And it's like, and Michael Myers is just listening to him instead of killing him. He's just like, you're right. And he's like, go over there. And Michael Myers listens and like walks away. And I'm like, why did that happen?
Him, yeah.
Then, of course, the absolutely famous thing.
No.
Busta Rhymes is into karate for some reason. And he has a karate fight with Michael Myers. And we're talking, he goes, hey-ya! Like, says hi-ya and kicks Michael Myers. And Michael Myers is like, boom, back. They're fighting. He fucks up.
Does Michael Myers have any kung fu?
No, he's just beating him up. Whatever, he just grabs him and stops him. And Busta Rhymes is like, oh, shit. Oh,
Trick or treat.
No, yeah. And then the final thing is toward the end, he comes in and saves the day right before Michael Myers kills whatever the main character
Busta Rhymes
idiot
is
is
the hero.
Busta Rhymes comes in and he just comes in. The place is on fire, isn't it?
Yep.
And he comes in and he just goes, ready, let me do the pause because the pause is part of it. He goes, trick or treat, motherfucker. and then he fucking kicks him again into the fire. And then you'd think that's enough. Like, okay, you got your final line.
I'm
right
done.
Before he closes the door, he goes, Happy Halloween, closes the door. And it just
Enjoy your treat.
It's a nightmare. It's so
Yeah, it's bad.
unbelievably
It's
bad.
bad.
I guess it's worse than 6 because 6 tried to do something.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. So 6 is
sounds-
the worst,
Oh,
but not its
God.
fault, I guess. 4th one is my favorite. Obviously, the first one and the 5th one has its moments. And then H2O would have been a cool ending, and that's my review of the Halloween franchise.
Interesting.
Next time we'll be talking about the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
No, we won't. I didn't do those. I actually liked the first one.
Yeah,
Hated
first
the
one was
second one.
okay, yeah.
And that's it. And now we've got a new one coming from the writers, ironically, of Saw 4, 5, 6,
Ooh,
7,
my
8, 9,
favorite
and 10.
Saws. My favorite Saws. I can't wait to see that.
And that's pretty much it.
My favorite Saws